Let's move on to PlayStation. Now, for this next batch of articles, coming fresh off the heels of the announcement of the Steam machine. For those unfamiliar, last week, matter of fact, let me just go ahead and bring it up. So segue. So if you don't keep up with the news, last week, Valve announced they are joining the console race by producing a PC hybrid called the Steam Machine, which is their second take at it. This will not be manufactured by a bunch of different companies. This will be made strictly by Valve, one setup. And with it is running on Steam OS. You'll be able to play all your games on Steam, but you'll also be able to boot whatever other application you want. So you could dual boot Windows into it because it is a PC. Basically, what they're making is that rumored Xbox that we read about a month ago, where they were talking about it'll still have the Xbox OS, but if you want, you can boot into Windows and do more with it, like run Photoshop or Adobe Premiere or whatever. Valve beat Xbox to the race, so Microsoft is shaking in their fucking boots. Matter of fact, I saw a video this morning of Sarah Bond saying, "Hey guys, we're gonna give a premium hybrid." They're trying to double the. Hey, we're still here. We don't care. Valve beat you to it. And the reason I'm giving just the catch up on this is when I first talked about this reveal, one of the arguments that I brought up is whether you care about this device or not. I think this is for people who are interested in PC gaming, Steam, the sales, the free online, but they were too scared to build a PC or they just weren't interested in building a PC. This is who this is for. I saw a lot of people in Hokage highlights agree with me. The reason I'm bringing this back is I also brought up the argument, whether you care or not to pick up one of these, this is good. This is a fourth player in the market, especially because one of the players, Xbox, is kind of waning away. We don't know where Xbox is going. So the competition is good. This means Xbox has to get better. This means not Microsoft, but Sony, PlayStation, Nintendo, they all have to get better. So whether you care about this or not, this is great for competition, especially if this is aggressively priced at $400 to $700 somewhere in. It's gonna light. A lot of people are going to be switching from their console to PC gaming, I predict. What I also predicted is, like I said, with the competition, it's needed because if Xbox is waning away, yes, Nintendo and Sony are in competition, but not direct competition. They have Nintendo has the family and Sony has the hardcore gamers, so they're not in direct competition. It would be bad because Sony, they like to pretend like they're pro-consumer, but they are super anti-consumer. Friendly reminder for those that don't remember, back when the Xbox One was about to come out and they had that shit show where they announced that your Xbox would have to be always online and their servers would ping your Xbox every 30 seconds to make sure to authenticate it. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to use the Xbox. PlayStation was going to do the same thing with the PS4 until they saw the reaction that the Xbox got. They were going to fuck you over too. They do not give a fuck about you guys. This is a corporation. Stop cock munching, Sony ponies, okay? And now I bring it full circle to say, once again, you niggas is going to give me my fucking flowers because I was right. Xbox Insider says PlayStation is probably pulling back from PC days after saying day and date exclusives are coming. Now, just last year, Sony announced they are doubling down and releasing their PlayStation exclusives on PC. This is why the Steam machine is going to be a fucking threat because it's probably going to be cheap. You're going to be able to play Xbox, PC, PlayStation exclusives. You can emulate Nintendo games allegedly and everything else. You'll be able to play everything on the fucking Steam machine in your living room. And I told y'all Sony was not going to like that shit. And now word on the street is they don't. Yeah, allegedly with the emulator, because we all buy our games legally, guys. Word on the street is Sony doesn't like that shit. Just when they was ready to double down on releasing Sony exclusives, now there's a little competition. Now they're saying, wait a minute, we don't want to put our fucking games on the Steam machine. Earlier this week, Valve announced the Steam Machine, a new mini PC that repackages Linux gaming in a console-like experience with access to an enormous catalog of games out of the box. The conversation around exclusives have stirred up once again, leaving everyone asking the same question. Do they even matter anymore? After all, the Steam Machine can play Xbox and PlayStation games without restriction, tearing down the traditional console walls, leaving Nintendo as the only major player to truly embrace exclusivity, at least for now. Windows Central Editor-in-Chief Jeff Gordon who we've referenced plenty of times, he is a reputable writer in the industry, alleges that Sony is looking to step back from its PC push and keep its most prestigious single-player games within the PlayStation ecosystem going forward. It does seem like the games that PlayStation released on PC didn't move the needle for them at all. That's cap as fuck. Anytime a fucking game, a PlayStation exclusive comes to PC, it sells like hotcakes. Now all of a sudden. All right, let me ask y'all a question. This is how you know this shit is cap as fuck. For the last 5 years, Sony has been slowly releasing their exclusives to PC. And every year, those exclusives have been releasing faster and faster alongside the PlayStation version. Now, why do you think that is? I'll tell you why if you don't know. It's because they've been selling like hotcakes on PC. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure I read somewhere, and I don't have it on me, so I don't know. Take it with a grain of salt. But I'm pretty sure I remember some of these PlayStation exclusives sold better on fucking PC, because we all know you PlayStation niggas don't buy games. And when you do buy them, they're Xbox games. You ain't playing Final Fantasy VII. You're playing Grounded, nigga. You're playing with them ants. Anyways, I was about to say the balling guns, unless it's Stellar BBL. I was about to say. So I gotta call cap if this rumor is true that the games aren't selling. And now they're not selling well when the Steam. Y'all really think I really need to put some critical thinking caps on? Y'all really think it's a coincidence that this news is coming out? They don't want to put their exclusives on PC anymore with the announcement of the Steam machine. PlayStation is probably pulling back from PC, Corden claimed. A very good source told him. The cross-buy buttons and the PlayStation PC iconography is from outdated old builds and it's never going to be used. It does seem like the games that PlayStation released on PC didn't move the needle for them at all, partially because they were launched so late, but maybe they've used that as evidence that they shouldn't go any further. Guys, a corporation, it doesn't hurt them to put the games on PC. All you got to do is bring it over there. It costs them nothing. All of a sudden, it's just too much work. All of a sudden, they don't want the extra money, huh? Corden alleges on the Xbox 2 podcast that we'll still see live service games like Helldivers 2 launch cross-platform, but tentpole single-player exclusives such as Ghost of Yotei will never leave PlayStation, or if they do, it'll be years later. However, it's worth noting that Corden said just 2 days ago that the day and date it's coming, meaning exclusives launching on PlayStation and PC at the same time, contradicting his most recent claims. And while several of his reports have been proven accurate, his track record with exclusivity isn't exactly ironclad. In 2023, he shut down rumors that Xbox was porting its heavy hitters to PlayStation, saying that it was just a hopium for the hardcore fanboys. I mean, take it with a grain of salt. It's a rumor. I'm just acting like it's true. It is a rumor. Take it with a grain of salt. I think PlayStation doesn't want to put their games on Steam until they release their own PC app. The thing that's going to make their game, if they genuinely feel like PC sales are not good enough, what's going to make the PC sales even worse is if they move all the games off of Steam. Because I can't stress enough, that's the reason we want to play them. We like Steam. We don't like Uplay. We don't like the EA app. We only like GOG because it has no DRM, but even still, that's a second choice. We don't want to use none of that shit, okay? We want to use Steam. Steam, you download the game, and if you don't like it for any fucking reason, as long as you don't spend more than 2 hours on it, an hour and 59 minutes, you can refund it without asking. They are the Costco of gaming, for those unaware. At Costco, they will not ask a question. You can return, it could be half-eaten, you can return it. They don't give a fuck. You can return the games on Steam. If they put the PlayStation launcher on fucking PC, nigga, I'm not buying that shit. I'm just gonna buy it on fucking PlayStation because now you're removing my pro-consumer abilities. Or just won't buy it at all because I'll probably get it for free or some shit like that. I don't know. Because forcing PSN on Steam players will not work. Also, PSN is not accessible certain features on PC in certain countries. Costco's return policy is actually nuts. Yeah, I seen a video about a dude who said he bought a mattress from Costco and he used it for 2 years. He got tired of it and was ready to upgrade it. He took it back to Costco and they had to take it. I'm not telling you to do that, but apparently he got a full refund off that shit and went and bought another mattress. I was like, that's actually crazy. I would imagine as long as the mattress ain't nasty and got piss stains all over it and shit, like that's how good their return policy is, bro. But yeah, take this all with a grain of salt. I brought this up to say, if it does come true that PlayStation is going to start pulling back support on PC gaming with the Steam machine looming over everybody's head like the boogeyman in 2026. Don't be surprised. Remember where you heard it here first. Sony has generated damn near $1 billion when their exclusives are bought on Steam. PlayStation would be dumb as fuck to stop their exclusives coming. They got to make that Concord money back. Remember, they lost 200 million off that shit. Speaking of Concord, last week, there was a story that broke, and I have a follow-up to it. Now, if you missed last week's stream where I talked about it, it was revealed that some fans, yes, they're out there. I know it may be hard for you to believe, but there are some fans of Concord out there. And I also say, I stand on the fact this game was not as bad as the internet tried to make it out to be. Most y'all didn't play it, and you just ran with the narrative that you saw online. Niggas post to Steam DB, and you're like, I was like, I played it. It was like a 6 or a 7. Was it mind-blowing? No, but it wasn't dog shit, and I stand on that. I'll die on that hill. That being said, was I gung-ho about this game? No. So what I'm trying to say is there were fans of this game that saw the potential, and those fans were trying to resurrect it. They found a way to reverse engineer the code last week, and they announced they got servers working online and that the game would be returning with fan-ran custom servers. They just had to work out a few bugs before releasing it to the public. Ladies and gentlemen, Sony said, we don't give a fuck what the fans have to say. We're shutting this down. Which, by the way, this is the second anti-consumer Sony story I'm sharing today. Just putting that out there. All the Sony ponies, this is another anti-consumer story. Because who does this hurt? Sony has started removing YouTube videos showing Concord running on fan-made custom servers, raising new questions about how far the company will go to shut down the community revival. Concord's short run was rough from the start. The hero shooter launched in August of 2024 as one of Sony's big live service pushes, but it never found a strong player base. Within weeks, servers went offline, refunds rolled out, and the game was left unplayable once everything was shut down. Artwork Studios, the team behind the project, closed not long after. Earlier today, the story took a surprising turn when a small group of developers brought Concord back online with custom servers. They spent months rebuilding the backend, reverse engineering systems, and getting matches working again. Fans finally saw the game boot up, load characters, match players, and even run a full Clashpoint match. It was the first time anyone had played Concord since Sony shut everything down. Now it looks like Sony is not thrilled about the revival. Shortly after the project gained attention, the two main YouTube videos from the original devs behind the project showing Concord running on these custom servers were hit with DMCA takedowns. The takedowns were issued by MarkScan, the same company responsible for many of Sony's recent copyright enforcement actions. For anyone unfamiliar, MarkScan is a digital asset protection firm that sends copyright notices and monitors online content for large clients. The company has a long record of acting on Sony's behalf. Past cases include DMCA strikes tied to Sony Music, removals including old television footage claimed for Sony, and multiple takedowns connected to Sony's interactive entertainment projects like Bloodborne's demake and the modded game footage. In other words, when MarkScan shows up, it usually means Sony is behind it. This lines up with what happened here. As of right now, the takedowns are all focused on YouTube gameplay videos, not the custom server project itself. Red, one of the devs behind the Concord project, posted a short update in the Concord Delta Discord saying, due to worrying legal action, we've decided to pause invites for the time being. And this is such a shame because this is not like when Nintendo takes down stuff, right? Nintendo, you halfway understand. You don't have to agree. You don't have to like it. But when Nintendo takes down you making a fan-made project, you are taking money out of their pocket because usually it's in correlation to something that's out. Like y'all dropping Pokemon Za on an emulator the week it came out, like days before. Like you're taking money out of Nintendo's pocket. You don't have to like it. You're also stupid for streaming it, but that's the law and it's also understandable. This, on the other hand, is not so much. You guys spent $200 million on this game. You threw it under the bus because you didn't support it. They never advertised this game. It failed. You shut down the servers. You didn't make no money for this game. Now, these fans come out, they reverse engineer it, and they get it working online. They're not charging anybody. So not only did you not make any money, they didn't make any money. And you took it down. How is this hurting you? You weren't going to use the IP. This could have been a situation where it's just bad PR. This is one of those situations where they say you need to learn to fight your battles. It's just bad PR. It could have been a situation where they found a way to resurrect the game, right? Because I stand on the fact that some of you guys actually might have liked this game, but you didn't give it a chance. Because what happened with Concord is there was an image that surfaced online on Twitter, and this is why I say the posting of the Steam DB numbers, it's useful in conversations sometimes, but then I feel like people take that shit way too seriously. Same thing with like Twitch streaming numbers. And I feel like a lot of y'all are missing out on things that you could potentially like simply because you're looking at a number. During the beta, somebody posted a screenshot that there were only 2,000 people on the server. And that was because Sony did not promote the game, not because it was the most dog shit ever. Like, people were talking about this game as because of the beta numbers, as if it was like Mind's Eye. Mind's Eye is an objectively horrible fucking game that, in my opinion, because sometimes I always argue, sometimes I be feeling like the internet be going too hard on certain things. It deserved to be dunked on. That's the one time where I agree. The internet, I'm cool with y'all dunking on this shit. Like, it deserved it, man. A lot of people saw that screenshot of the numbers and they were like, this is the most dog shit. People were having a whole thesis and Twitter posts about, yo, I know for a fact most y'all didn't play it. And I think that's the shit that bothered me the most. Y'all didn't play it. How do you have such a strong opinion on something like that? It was a functional game. Sorry, I got so many ads for Concord. You must have been the only one. I didn't see no goddamn ads. It's corporate brutality. Like Sparking Zero, it deserved it. Sparking Zero, the game didn't deserve it. We got to be contextual here. The Sparking Zero community deserved it. Sparking Zero in itself was an okay game, and it would have been a game that flourished if people allowed it to be what it was supposed to be. But the day the game came out, you numbnuts ass niggas was trying to treat it like it was Street Fighter 6. Instead of just treating it as what it was supposed to be, a fun, arcade, silly power fantasy that you played with the bros in private lobbies. Niggas was setting up tournaments. Niggas was questioning niggas' IQs off a game with a combo system where you press B, 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 square. Square, 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 B. Square, triangle, circles, triangle. Like, bro, it wasn't that fucking deep. And then on top of that, y'all all played the same 10 characters. They built the game with, and this is why I said it was supposed to be a fun power fantasy. It had like 200 characters in it at launch. And you niggas played the same characters. Goku Blue, Gogeta, Vegito, Golden Frieza. Like, bro, can we have what happened to the gentleman's shake, you know? If we gonna run a set where we each got 3 characters, each of us get one high tier S tier character, one mid tier character, and one low tier character. What happened to that, bro? Yeah, Broly, everybody. I'm just throwing buttons out there, bro. The point I'm trying to make is y'all niggas stink, you're losers, and you're gonna continue to lose. Fucking dweebs. A lot of you niggas think you're fucking Blue Goku when you niggas is Chaozu. And that's why shit be blowing up in your face like Chaozu all the fucking time, you bitch ass niggas, and you stink. Anyways, the game kind of did that with a point system, but they didn't agree. Like they didn't use it correctly, like for fun. They were all just trying to abuse that shit, bro. Yeah, self-sacrifice for nothing. Other Steam Machine news. Steam Machine is reportedly equal or better than 70% of home gaming setups, Valve claims. Now, this is interesting because what is that 70%? Because last I checked, most people are still playing 1080p. Valve is making a play for living rooms again with its new Steam Machine hardware, and the company believes that the compact gaming PC could be equal to or better than what 70% of people have at a home currently. In a new interview, Valve's engineer explained that the Steam Machine is designed to be both a powerful and entry-level gaming device capable of running most of the games in your Steam library at high performance levels. As you know, we definitely learned a lot from 10 years ago. We learned a lot from the Steam Deck. We really feel like we have all the hardware and all the software bits to make the vision a reality. It needs to have enough performance to play all your Steam games, and we wanted it to be a pretty simple experience. We also wanted to target more of an entry-level device. Affordability is really important, and definitely the price point played a huge factor in what performance level we're trying to target. Another thing we looked at is the Steam hardware survey. It gives us a good benchmark of where people's home devices are in terms of performance, and the Steam Machine is equal or better than 70% of what people have at home. Translation: a lot of PC gamers, y'all niggas are capping. So basically what they're saying is when they sat down to design and engineer the Steam Machine, they looked at the survey hardware of the average PC setup on Steam. And according to the analytics, it was X, Y, and Z. From my understanding, most people are still playing on 1080p. So they were probably shooting for what the average setup is so that they can probably cut costs. The comments might not be far off the mark, they said. Older gaming PCs are still capable of running a wide variety of games thanks to upscaling technologies, while in the console space, many games are still released both for current and last-gen machines, like the PS4 and the Switch. Valve has also said the Steam machine is over 6 times more powerful than the Steam Deck, and the official tech specs released for it do suggest that it's capable of comfortably playing modern PC games. Yeah, that's true. Like I said, my 2080, if I wasn't a streamer, I might have not upgraded my PC. I'm gonna be honest. My 2080 was still running everything perfectly fine off stream. It just became a problem when I would stream because then I got to beam out the image twice. One of the most common misconceptions I see from console gamers that have never experienced PC gaming, they have in their mind that you have to upgrade your PC every year or two. That's not true. If you take care of your PC, meaning you clean it every 3 months, you empty out your recycling bin every once in a while, and just don't stuff your hard drives, and you don't download any fucking viruses, your PC will last a long time. There's no reason it shouldn't last 5 to 7 years at least. And then because you got to keep in mind with PC gaming, the beauty of it is that you can turn down the visuals, you can customize the settings or whatever. And I'm gonna be honest, from my experience, there's never really a difference between ultra and high, and there's barely ever a difference between high and medium. I've had mine since 2016. You just got to take care of yourself, take care of your their stuff. But a lot of console gamers, I won't say a lot, but there's a portion of console gamers probably don't understand that. I mean, like you said, we've seen niggas who got roaches in they fucking PS4. The number of TikTok videos I've seen of, there's this dude that constantly pops up on my For You page. He does repairs on consoles in Orlando, Florida. He does mobile repairs. And he'll open up people's Xboxes and PS5s, and them bitches be full of dust in the fan. Like, people just don't take, I don't know what it is. People don't understand you're supposed to take care of your technology. Clean out your PS5. Get the air compressor can. I personally recommend getting a one that you can plug in off of like Amazon for like 30 to 50 bucks. I got one that you can recharge. Clean out your shit, bro, so you don't have to keep buying the cans. I seen that. Yeah, they think because they PS5 blowing up after 2 years, that's how consoles is. And it's like, no, it's just because you sit it on the floor with all them dust mites and rats. They get into your PS5, and now you struggling to hit greens in 2K. That's what PC niggas used to say all the time back in the day about upgrading every 2 to 3 years. But after knowing real PC players that they're growing up, I understand that's cap. That's cap. Buy an air purifier. Buy an air purifier. Not just for your console or your PC, but breathe better. I got one mainly because I got a border collie and he just constantly putting fur in the goddamn air. And y'all know I got bad sinuses. So yeah, get an air purifier. If you want a recommendation, they got one at Costco. It's called I think it's the Shark brand. It's called Never something. Never. You have to. They call it Never Change the Filter or something. You only have to change the filter once every 5 years. It's literally plug and play. That shit is nice. It's like $100. It's worth the money. Keep your air clean. God damn, my house is smelling better. There's no excuse for the PS5 because you're able to open it. They're not going to do that. The unfortunate thing about the iPad is I think the iPad has dumbed down a lot of people. A lot of people use tech in their everyday life, but I don't think most people are tech enthusiasts because there is a difference. I feel like when I was a kid, more people were tech enthusiasts, and it's because you kind of had to be. You had to critically think to use a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff nowadays is so streamlined. That's why the Steam machine is so appealing. It's going to be streamlined. Stuff is so streamlined. They don't know how to use or take care of their tech to an optimal level. Like, it would blow their mind that we had to blow into the cartridge. Like, my shit don't work. What am I supposed to do? I'm on my iPad right now. All right, nigga. That's just funny. They made it insanely easy to clean the PS5. They're not gonna do it. I'm talking about like it'd be mad dust caught in the fan. That shit be gross. Another article I seen. Insider Gaming's Tom Henderson says a big announcement for a big game is coming in the next few weeks for a March 2026 release. Can't say just yet, but a lot of people are looking forward to it and discussing the Steam machine on this podcast right here. I seen another article that said it could possibly be Half-Life 3. I seen them talking about it on Kind of Funny Games, and like one of them didn't believe him, and he was like, think about it. He's like, why not just announce? He's like, if Half-Life 3 was real, why didn't they announce it during the reveal of the Steam machine? And one of them was arguing it would take away from the thunder of the Steam machine, and I agree with that. Why not do that when you can have multiple story beats? First announce the Steam machine that took over the internet for the week, And then in a few more weeks, announce Half-Life 3. They're going to take over the internet again. Now people are excited for the Steam machine all over again. It's all about the thing about today is it's all about getting attention and staying in the zeitgeist, staying in the conversation, the water cooler. I think that would put them back in the conversation. So some people think it could be Half-Life 3. It could also be Left 4 Dead for 3. We don't know what the fuck it's going to be. We don't even know if it's a Valve game, but I think that's what a lot of people are hoping for because of the Steam machine announcement. That would be crazy. If Steam came out and said we're making Half-Life 3 or Left 4 Dead 3 and it will be exclusive to Steam, that would go crazy. The pre-orders, they would sell out on the Steam machine. It would, and then they would get crazy pre-orders or wish lists for people who already have a game in PC. Portal 3 would be crazy too. Portal 3 would be crazy. I want that to be so true. Very interesting time. So we'll keep an eye on that. We'll keep an eye on that and see how that plays out. People were making jokes that the Steam machine looks like a GameCube and they were calling it the Gabe Cube. If you don't get the reference, the CEO of Steam, his name is Gabe Newell, so they're calling it the Gabe Cube. They're already making start screens for the Steam Deck, and I'd imagine they're going to find a way to import this into the Steam machine, and it looks a little something like this. This came across my For You page. Who's ready for the Gabe Cube? I need the Gabe Cube faceplate too. I would copy that shit. That'd be funny. They do Half-Life 3 and Left 4 Dead 3 bundle at launch. That would be insane. I just couldn't see a world where they do both. Let's just try to get one. He said that's fire. That's PC gaming. You could just do stupid shit like that if you want. The internet is great. Yeah. We got some data. Y'all know over here I'm the numbers guy. And according to this article, more players in the UK, US, and Japan still prefer single-player games over multiplayer games, according to a survey. Oh, Shroud is not going to like this news. Multiplayer gamers are on the internet. They love to act like it's the only thing that matters, and they keep forgetting single-player is the foundation of gaming. It always will be, and the numbers are backing it. Multiplayer is great. It's always going to have a space. Some of you ball and gun gamers need to be quiet. Ampere Analysis surveyed 34,000 players across 22 markets and found that 58% of players in the UK said they prefer single-player games to multiplayer games. That makes sense. It's always cloudy like Cleveland in UK, so they just want to stay in the house and soak up a single-player game. This figure went even higher in Japan with 63%, and even higher still in the US where the figure was 65%. Other countries in the survey who said they preferred solo play included Thailand, Germany, and the UK. Meanwhile, more players surveyed in China and Sweden said they preferred multiplayer games, with only 47% and 49% respectively choosing single-player games, while the Netherlands sat on the fence at 50%. That makes sense for China. Mobile games are big there. They play a lot of League of Legends clones there and shit like that. That makes sense why multiplayer would be bigger. And then there's a lot of esports teams coming out of like those Northern European countries. So, I mean, that makes sense too. The survey finding also suggested that the preference of single player over multiplayer may also come down to age, which is perhaps unsurprising given the popularity of games like Roblox and Minecraft among younger players. According to the results, only 49% of players aged 16 to 24 said they prefer single player games, but this surges to 56% of players aged 25 to 34 and grows even higher to 64% of players aged 55 to 65. Translation: the younger generation grew up with Fortnite. That's what they like. They like live service games. And us older gamers, we grew up with single player games, and then we jumped into the multiplayer later, and we like a little bit of both, but we still prefer the single player experience. It's definitely an age thing, I think. What I'm curious to see is, does this number change when the younger gamers get older, when you're no longer cracked out, but you still want to enjoy the culture, you still want to enjoy the hobby? Because, you know, it's easy to be cracked out in a video game when all you got to do is your fucking homework. Once you get a family, once you got, you know, maybe college or a job, your career, come home, you just want to relax, play the game. Sometimes you're going to play multiplayer, sometimes you're going to play single player. I'm curious to see if that number will change when the Roblox generation grows up. The data also suggests the difference in response between players aged 16 to 24 and those aged 25 to 35, a clear divide between Gen Z and millennials in terms of gaming taste and perspective. Damn, streams are lit tonight. I appreciate it. Code Red and Doritos and Mountain Dew. They're gonna be 30 plus still cranking 90s on Fortnite, trying to recapture those glory days. Man, it just don't feel the same, bro. Like I tried No Bill, but like I missed Tomato Town. Like it don't feel the same, bro. I think it's just a generational thing, and that's okay. But I am curious to see, does it change when they get older? I have a sneaky suspicion that it will change, because I mean the main people who are complaining gaming is dead or gaming is boring is that side, the ball and gun gamers that only play multiplayer games with balls and guns in them. Got 1,000 people on YouTube. Let's go. Hey, shout out to y'all. I can't see how many people are watching. Shout out to everybody watching though. Hit the like button. What am I about to say? Yeah, I am curious to see, does that taste evolve over time? Do you get tired of the chicken tenders and pizza, and do you want to try something a little bit better? Don't get me wrong, I love chicken tenders and pizza too, but goddamn, can we try something else? I would also like to know, shout out to Jonathan with the $10 super chat. No Cleveland standards, no Cleveland slander. We out here making moves, ball and gun. Hashtag ball and gun. Nigga, you're not from Cleveland. You just cosplaying in Cleveland, nigga, which is crazy. We got the first Cleveland. First of all, a Cleveland nigga wouldn't have internet, let alone enough money to drop a super chat. We got a nigga cosplaying a nigga from Cleveland. You are crazy. You're definitely from Ohio, but you're not from Cleveland, because that was a crazy statement. Anyways, what was I about to say? Yeah, I am curious to see will their taste change from chicken tenders and pizza to something else, because life is too short to just be eating pizza. I like pizza too, but you gotta try something else, man. Cosplaying a Cleveland nigga is crazy. It's crazy. Mental illness. In other news, that's actually a great segue, Ab. He said mental illness in regards to the Cleveland Claw. The Cleveland Claw. I cannot even enunciate this shit. This is a tongue twister. The Cleveland cosplayer. Speaking of mental illness, Star Citizen, the game that's 13 years in the making. I just wanted to quickly cover this. This is a story that I feel like it's not getting covered enough, but we're going to cover it here because this is in regards to my war against fucking corporate greed, and how I argue, yes, the corporations are at fault for overcharging and getting greedy and just trying to appease the board, the shareholders. But I also argue on this stream all the time, it takes two to tango. Yes, they are trying to fuck us, but some of you like getting fucked because you don't vote with your wallet. We just talked about how niggas is buying $150 sock from Apple to hold the iPhone. Star Citizen is a video game that's been 13 years in development, and it has been revealed they've generated almost $1 billion in fucking donations. And the game is still not done. It's still not done. It's still not done. At what point do we say, you know what? Maybe I should stop funding this shit. And it's like, what? They've generated almost, they're going to do it too. We're at 900 million. They're going to generate $1 billion. That's why I'm just going to round it up, right? At what point do you say to yourself, man, this shit has been in development for 13 years. Not only does the PS4 need a yarmulke, the Star Citizen. We need to print out a picture of the Star Citizen box art, put it on a PS4 box, and put a yarmulke on it because it's due for a bar mitzvah too. At what point do we say to ourselves, we critically think, damn, we've donated $1 billion to these developers and they still haven't finished the game. What are they doing over there? I have the answer for you guys. Nigga, nothing. Nothing. I guarantee if them donations stop coming in, if the number stops moving, I bet that a lot of fire under their ass. But if I'm getting paid $1 billion to do nothing, why the fuck would I ever work? This is crazy. So shame on anybody who continues to participate in this. I was a victim of Star Citizen 13 years ago, thanks to somebody named Gaming Ethos, who told me this was going to be the next big space game. It was going to be like Mass Effect, but open world. You could choose your own adventure and play with your friends. It was a co-op. I said, that shit sound cool. I bought $100 stealth ship, one of the best ships in the game at that time. Here we are 13 years later. They still haven't finished that game. And I'm still, yeah, it was Ethos and Anon. I'm still mad at them niggas for convincing me to buy this shit. Because it never finished and they never got another fucking dollar from me. A lot of times you sit here and tell, I'll be like, man, it's the fucking pub. No, fuck these devs, man. These people are crazy. And you're crazy for supporting this shit. He owes you $100. Shit, it's been 13 years. What's $100 adjusted for inflation? It's probably, this nigga owe me like 150 probably, bro. This is some bullshit. Stop supporting this fucking game, man. Jesus Christ. This is a fake fucking game. Y'all remember last year when people got mad at that open world zombie game and we called it a fake game? What was that? What was it called? The Last Day or some shit like that? This is a fake game. This is it's $200. Nigga owe me $200. This is $1 billion fake game. Hey, where it at? I don't know. Days Gone. Yeah, Days Gone. Whatever. No, it wasn't Days Gone. The days before. It was called The Days Before. That shit was a fake game. This is $1 billion fake game. Yeah, $1 billion. Star Citizen's a Ponzi scheme. Stop donating to them. Make them do their job. It's the only way this game is ever going to get done. What platform is this on? I don't even know. Ooh, yeah. Yo, shout out to Jonathan with the super sad. He said, chill. Chattahooga River ain't been on fire. The Chattahooga River ain't been on fire in 50 plus years, and we got internet now. At least we ain't Detroit. Hey, Detroit niggas, how y'all feel about that? The Cleveland cosplayer said, at least we not Detroit. How y'all feel about that? I heard downtown Detroit is on the come up. He owes you $143. Oh, I already did this one. Shit is crazy, bro. It is crazy. Let's go in the sell box real quick before we get on this game. Let me switch my account to the main joint. Let's go to Black Hokage. Which game will be first? GTA 6 coming out or Star Citizen? Oh, GTA 6. GTA 6. Bleach Soul Renaissance official launch trailer. Is this a new Bleach game? Who's excited? Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl expansion, and Deadpool VR. There's a Deadpool VR game? I'm from Detroit. Why he bring us in? Oh no, man. We know what it is. There's a song, and at the end of it, it says, "At least we're not Detroit. We're not Detroit." Beyond the Stars official gameplay trailer. I just realized I didn't turn my thing on. That's why my sinuses is fucking acting up, bro. Moana live action. Who asked for this, bro? Disney is out of ideas. See, Arc Raiders accolades trailer. The SpongeBob movie Search for SquarePants official Ice Spice behind the scenes. What? There ain't nothing in Cleveland but Rad Rats and Super Mutants. Real shit. Real shit. Cozy Marbles, the video game. Let's go. Yeah, I don't see any interesting trailers. Shout out to Rory. See that? Where's that thumbnail lit? Shout out to Rory getting exposed. JG talking about it. Make sure to subscribe to JG's time capsule. It is in fact a time capsule of JG's content. Yeah, I don't see nothing interesting. They said Ice Spice only knows 15 words. Hey, but she worked the hell out of them 15 words. I'm a baddie. I get what I want. I'm used to the limelight. Working in a deli with my daddy. Yeah, there's nothing. All right, let's look at these real quick. Like, looks like a mobile game. Speaking of, I'm proud to announce I have officially done it, chat. That's right. This weekend, I finally sat down and I moved my playlist from Spotify to YouTube Music. I've been talking about doing it for a while, but I finally got the fire to light under my ass. Because, you know, with YouTube Premium, you get YouTube Music for free. I moved my playlist over from Spotify to YouTube Music, and I canceled my Spotify last night. What finally motivated me? Them niggas on Spotify was running ICE ads. We don't fuck with that. So that's the perfect excuse I need. When I found that shit out, I said, oh no, you niggas is not getting my money. I don't support that shit. Don't get me wrong, I'm still mad at the Latino community. I ain't like how you niggas voted, but you know, I still don't like it. I have some level of empathy. Fuck Spotify. Still mad at you niggas. Pack them up. Also, Spotify, I hate Spotify's algorithm. This shit look like ass. Spotify revamped. Thank me later. I got like 5 days left on my Spotify, and then I'm deleting this shit off my fucking computer. I'm using it while it's still on. Beyond the stars. I will vote, but Donald Trump. Oh, I'm not playing this shit either. Yeah, with Spotify's algorithm, they play like the same 50 songs over and over, and that shit's fucking annoying. Versus YouTube Music constantly sends me notifications about new music that drops. That made me change too, because I'm tired of hearing the same shit over and over. I like what I listen to, but I also want to find. I'm not a hater. I like finding new stuff too. All right, I guess we're gonna get on Ninja Gaiden then. Only reason I haven't left Spotify is because the audiobooks. See, I don't listen to audiobooks. Let me be honest. If I wanted to, I could allegedly find them. Yeah, Spotify Shuffle's a joke. How did you move your playlist? Oh, called Tune something. Let me see. Oh, yeah, it's called Tune My Music. TuneMyMusic.com. All you do is you connect your Spotify, and then it'll ask you what's the source, and then after that, it'll ask you where you want it to go to. I click YouTube Music, and then once you log in, you don't even have to click this. You can do it from here. I didn't make an account. It'll literally find all your playlists and then it'll export them. The only thing is you're limited to like 1,000 songs or something like that. But the workaround was I had like 4 playlists. So I moved the first 2 on my default web browser. And then I opened it up in a second web browser. You see, it's still here. I opened it up in another web browser and it didn't read the IP, I guess. And I was able to do it again for free because you had to pay for their premium, but you can just use another web browser and move all your shit from here. So I did it with 2 different web browsers. It literally took like 2 minutes. It was actually very easy. I was surprised. I was actually mad I didn't do it sooner. But yeah, tunemymusic.com. Here, I'll drop it in the chat if y'all want it. It should go to both chats. There you go. But let me go use the bathroom real quick and then we go.